All right. 3, 2, 1.
Dude, welcome back. It's been a while. We were on a short hiatus. What's it been,
Yeah.
like 2 weeks? 3 weeks?
A little bit. Looks like we grew some hair out here, huh? I love the goatee.
Dude, it's running a little thin up there, but like it's actually because it's all wet. I was wearing a hat all day because I work outside in the cold, so it was like all mushed and like matted
That's
down, and so I just threw
okay.
some water in it real quick.
I love how
Um,
you can still get your hair up, even though that's exactly where you have hair. Like,
it
no, don't do
actually
that. Don't do that.
it looks a lot worse than it is right now, but I promise you, like on a normal day, it doesn't look that bad. There's more shag up there. You know what I'm saying? It's just
A
it's
little
kind of bunched
shaggy.
together. Yeah, you know what I'm
Okay.
saying?
Hey, what you sipping on, man?
This is a White Claw Black Cherry.
Fuck.
Um, for
I,
those of
I
you who
can
don't know,
hear the estrogen in your voice when you say it.
hey, listen. For those of you who don't know, I'm not a drinker,
No.
so
It's gonna be
not
good.
really. I mean,
I
not
am a
really.
very big drinker,
Are you?
but I keep it stable. Functional, I think, is the word that they say. Yeah, there you go. All
Yeah.
right.
So I started growing out this goatee because at work they basically have mandated a mask. Cheers. They mandate me wear a mask, and but I'm not allowed to have facial hair, right?
All right.
Because law enforcement. So well, I work for the army. I'm guided by the army regulations.
I can see
So
you have
what?
amazing regulations, by the way.
Yeah. Well, so what happens is I wear the mask like this all day,
Yeah.
and I just keep the mask on. And so I was like, well, you know what? If they're gonna make me wear a mask, I'm gonna grow a fucking goatee, and that's what I've been doing. So unless I can find like one of these like full masks, I'll just grow a beard. You know.
Just wear a
But
gas mask to work. Like, why are you? We keep like pussyfooting around this thing. How much you gonna curse right now? I just want to know that part. We're gonna keep it to a
I'm
little
I'm
chill.
letting it rip.
All right,
Letting
fuck it
it
then.
rip.
Yeah, man, just wear a fucking gas mask and just see what they
We
say.
we we've we've
With
actually
a
done that.
serious
Like
face. With a serious face, and you don't say anything. Like they don't question that.
I wore a helmet today for 4 hours. I'm talking like a fucking 1972, like the Vietnam War is coming to a close. We found these in a fucking old green rusted quad-con. Here it is. We issued it to you. You're gonna fucking put this on. That's what I did
Oh
today
my
for
god,
4 hours, looking like a complete jackass. People are like driving up and they're like,
Gomer Pyle
"What the
getting it
fuck's
in.
wrong with that guy?"
Hey, this is what guys for drinking. It's a Elysian or Elysian. I can't say. I don't know what language it is, but it's called Space Dust, and it is 8.2%. So like, yeah. Cheers.
Is that a local beer?
Huge local, yeah. That's what San Diego did to me. San Diego ruined beer for me. Ruined it in a good way. Where like I used to be all about the Coronas and the Bud Lights, and then I had an IPA. And San Diego was the mecca of like you can walk downtown and run into 3 breweries on every block, different, like that they made it themselves, and you're just like, oh, what's going on over here?
I remember
So
that when I was there. That was like a big thing. And like I had
mhm.
tried a few. I know Ballast Point was a big one. A lot of the guys from our platoon were into Ballast Point. Those what were those things called? Not the things that go in the kegerator, or what are they called? They get those like grovel, or what is it
Oh, the
called?
growls,
The
the
growl,
growler,
the growl, the
the
growler,
growler.
the growler.
Yeah, but it's like a
Yeah.
big ass gallon or
Everyone
half
coming to
gallon.
work
Yeah.
bragging, it's got this fucking brawler from fucking
Jesus.
fucking Mission Point, fucking Pacific Beach. Like, dude,
Great
I can
story,
fuck with
by
the
the
guy.
way. The first time I had a growler, I didn't understand. I'm learning IPA, right? I got a growler of like probably the strongest thing that Ballast Point had. At the same day, I got my hands on my DeWalt cordless nail gun. Man, let me tell you. So
Where's
I'm
this
drinking.
going?
Yeah, yeah. The whole thing is right. It's like I'm from my house. I'm like, yo, I'm just trying to build my DeWalt set, right? And you go to like these little swap meets, and you get like good deals. Like, and I've been telling this guy for like almost months, like, listen, man, when you get your hands on this cordless DeWalt nail gun, because I don't like that I with the big ass air compressor. I'm a house guy. I like to build shit and fix it. And so, anyways, I was like, I'm fixing this garage door today. I was also learning what a growler was today. To this day, there may be still 300 nails on like each side of the garage because I was trying to do I was nailing it. I'm nailing this fucking long ass nail from a but I'm nailing it using it's a rubber. I'm trying to like seal it. Obviously, this just going right through the fucking rubber, but I'm not gonna give up. So I nailed the shit out of it. And the next day when I see what happened, plus other stuff, I was like, oh.
Plus other stuff.
I said, watch out for this growler shit. That's when I learned to be careful with the IPA. It's not a Bud Light.
No. You know what I recently discovered?
What's that?
Which I do drink are old fashions.
Oh, those are nice. Yeah, a little orange thing on it. Yeah.
When they're done well, they're actually really delicious. Plus, you get a fucking cool looking ice cube, and there's something about that ice cube. You know what I'm saying? It just
feels old fashioned.
I feel like so official. Like it instantly sophisticates me. Like my vocabulary increases. Like I'm like a whole new me. Put one of those things in my hand, and that's it. I can own the entire room. You know what I'm saying?
I love that, man. Yeah, those go in, man. If every time I am drinking hard liquor, that's what I go for. So the reason I stick with this is because with the alcohol percentage, it never sneaks up on me. If I know I'm drinking something percentage, like you're good. Like, okay, I'm having 8% today. I'm at 3 of them. I know if I drink it by this, like it never sneaks up. The way you feel is what you feel. And going through my 20s, I learned that's not the way alcohol works. Like hard liquor alcohol, you be like, I'm good, man, I'm good. As soon as you hit that cold ass air, it's a wrap. You know? So I stick to good ass beer, but respect to those liquor people. How was your New Year's, man?
It was good. I ended up hanging out with a buddy, a guy from the jiu-jitsu gym. Him and his wife. He's like a big like cook. He's like a connoisseur of food and whatnot. He's actually from France, but he's He's like a 6'3" or 4" Filipino from France who then came here. He looks completely white. You would never know he was Asian.
Get out of here.
And then his family looks super Asian. And he's like 8 feet taller than all of them. But he's super cool cat. And he's got this he's big into homemade pizza. So he makes like homemade dough, homemade sauce,
cool.
the
I never
entire
had
thing.
that before.
And he's got this oven. It's called a uni. It's maybe like, I don't know. It's like, I'll just say it's like 18 inches by 18 inches, right? It can hold like I don't know, maybe like a 10-inch, 12-inch pizza.
Cool.
You know what I'm saying? It goes up to 900 degrees. He can cook a pizza in 60 seconds.
Like a full pizza?
A full, like one of those, like a medium Domino's. You know what I'm saying? Like one of the. He can cook one of those in like 60 seconds. Homemade sauce, dough, the whole thing, and it's fucking incredible, bro. Like he makes incredible pizza. So that's what I've been doing with him. I've been swapping back and forth meat. Like I'll smoke something.
Swapping meat back and forth? All right, cool. Glad you're happy there. There you go. See? The White Claws kicking in. By the way, yo, this is called Two Beers in a Podcast. We will literally drink 2 beers during this podcast.
I have 3 of these things total. That's 2 beers, right?
Yeah.
These things are strong, bro.
Yeah, I bet.
This is stand by.
Do you really want to say this?
This is 5%, bro.
Watch out now.
That's all I'm saying. What's a normal beer? I don't even know.
4.5.
Yeah, okay. So
there you go.
Come at me, bro. What did you do? What did you do for your New Year's?
Went to go to downtown San Diego, and it was interesting because I was supposed to go to this place. And when we get downtown and we park and everything shut down. There are cops 2 cops on every block. It looks like I was saying, yo, I put on. It looked like stormtroopers. Like everybody's patrolling everywhere. I never seen so many cops in my life. I'm like, yo, somebody get murdered. What was going on? Basically, they shut everything down. Nobody is hanging out. This specific person may or may not have kept this party going, and we had to get in like a fucking speakeasy. So it was like crazy, but it was cool. But it was funny because I'm by me and my wife, and we're like on a suit, like we're New Year's up, and we're trying to act like we're not going anywhere. Fucking walking downtown, passing the police. I'm on my phone. Oh, good evening, officer. Like, what the fuck?
God.
Run into the guy. Anybody follow? Yeah, nobody followed. All right, follow me. And we go there. We got to, you knock on the door. It was a whole fucking shebang, like off of Goodfellas. And we walk through the kitchen, and we're going through all these like little back areas, and then we get in, and it's like, oh, this is nice. Yeah, that was my New Year's and stuff, man.
That's actually a pretty cool story, minus the the invasion of your rights and stuff like that. All those things aside, that sounds really cool. I mean,
that part is called 4 beers in politics. Let's keep that shit. Let's let some things settle down. Yeah, but I know you were taking some time off working on that website. So tell me more about that. How has it been going? How has it gone?
Oh man, it was quite the hassle to close this project out has been a hassle, and not because of anything that is so complex or so convoluted. It was just a simple issue that I just couldn't figure out. And it turns out it was a PayPal issue. I was having an issue trying to figure out this payment system that is supposed to be done and automated through PayPal. And ultimately, I had set everything up right, but there's 2 modes. There's a test mode and there's a live mode.
Okay.
The test mode is called Sandbox, which why not just call it test mode? You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. So I don't know that, right? And it's not really obvious as you're going through this process because it's pretty technical.
Right.
So I had set this thing up in a test mode. So when I'm trying to run mock transactions with a buddy of mine who put his products on the website, he's not getting paid out. And I'm like, I couldn't figure what was going on. So it took PayPal. They don't have a contact phone number. So you got to open up a trouble ticket, the whole thing. It took them 2.5 weeks for them to actually call me. I get on the phone with this guy for 5 minutes. He's like, bro, do this, this, and this. Check this. I'm like, yeah, it's in Sandbox. He's like, bro, you're in Sandbox. I'm like, I don't know what Sandbox is. Yeah. He's like, you got to get out of Sandbox. I'm like, I don't want to be in the Sandbox. So he's like, dude, you got to go live. I'm like, let's go live. I go live. Boom, hit a transaction. Money disperses. And I'm like, dude, that's all. It was a click of a button, bro.
Get the fuck out of here.
So
how many months was that? How many weeks was that?
I think it was like almost 3 weeks, maybe 3.5 weeks, like from the start of me trying to figure out the payment issue. Like it was almost a month. I mean, it was near a month. And yeah, I mean, the last piece of the process here is like, I've got a buddy. He was in 2-9 with me. Okay. He was a 2844. He was a Comelec guy. And he got out. He was a good friend of mine, Gabe, and he became a lawyer. He went to Pepperdine out in I think it's Northern California somewhere. Okay. Pepperdine Law School.
Right.
Super smart guy. He's like a lawyer for CHP, I think. California Highway Patrol. And because that was another issue. I went through LegalZoom. And I'm trying to get like a fucking like a terms and services agreement, but it's like so generic, and like what I'm doing is not necessarily not cookie generic. Cutter.
Yeah, you need like a lawyer. Like
yeah, you need some nuance in what it is that we're doing. So I'm like, okay, I buy this program for like 300 or this membership for $300, right? I'm like, it's got like this special lawyer pack. I'm like, okay, cool, whatever. This sounds like what I need. Turns out like you get to consult with a lawyer for 30 minutes. As many times as you want on separate topics.
Wow.
But if they have to generate an original document, you have to pay them person, like their firm or whatever. You have to pay them
It
their
sounds like a
fee
lead
for the
source.
document.
It sounds like a lead source. Like they're
It
just trying to
sounds like a
get
lead
you.
source. It
Yeah,
smells
and
like a lead
then
source.
yeah,
It was a lead source.
there you go.
So
Just lead source.
I'm like, all right, I talked to this lawyer and he's like, yeah, this is what you need. He's like, I can help you out. He's like, but you might want to shop around. I'm like, okay, cool. I'll shop around. I made another appointment to talk to another lawyer, right? Like I'm thinking I got unlimited, calls with a lawyer, 30-minute contacts.
Right.
So I scheduled the appointment. I get a call from LegalZoom. They're like, hey, dude, you've already like basically opened up an inquiry on this particular topic. You can't use another 30-minute conversation. I was like, the guy told me to go consult another lawyer, so that's what I'm doing. They're like, oh, you can't do that. Like, dude, go pound sand. So
Wow.
then I was like, dude, I know Gabe. Like, I'm gonna hit up Gabe. Gabe's like, dude, I'll knock this out for you easy. So that's where I'm at right now.
That's super dope. So yes, give the viewers the beware with LegalZoom. Specific beware.
It's good for generic things. Like if you have to sell a car, or if you have to, just I don't know, an NDA, non-disclosure agreement. If you have something generic, I mean, this is my perspective. I mean, if you have any sort of legal wherewithal, maybe you can, maneuver more than I did. I don't really have, a legal mind, I guess. So, and I don't really. That's not like one of those things that you want to like just shoot from the hip, like,
Yeah.
got it, yeah, got my doc. Like
Yeah.
that's not one of those things. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You want to make sure your shit's covered because ultimately, like if you get sued, like you're screwed, right? Like you're out of your business, or you're facing some sort of ramification that you don't want to face. So yeah, I mean, source within, right? Stay in
No.
your warm market.
No, yeah, that's
That's it.
good to know because I had no fucking idea. I thought LegalZoom, like they said, it was like, oh, a bunch of lawyers just lining up to like, who the hell deals with lawyers on a regular basis, right? So that's why I wanted to like dig into that because maybe somebody's gonna go into LegalZoom, give them some money, and they figure out they just lost their money, So that was it.
And don't get me wrong, like I had a very limited exposure. Like there might be some good uses for it. It's just not something that
Not for
works
your
for
thing.
me.
Definitely
Yeah,
not
it
for
didn't
your
work for
thing. Yeah.
me. So like, I'll throw that disclaimer out there. Like, um, and obviously like, why not support a buddy,
Yeah.
especially a veteran, like why
Hell yeah.
not? So, but yeah, hopefully that'll be done within like next week, right in the next week. And then I have a meeting with him on Monday just to kind of hash out a couple of things. And then from there, I'm going to try to start sourcing product to put on the website. So
Is it going to be live after a week or is it live now?
it actually is live currently. I'm just not promoting it to any degree really because because
Not
there's
even
only
on our platform that we have. We
you
promote
can
people.
certainly go to the website and support. It's
Please.
www.dotmilgear.com.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I mean, thanks for asking.
Yeah.
There's not a whole lot on there. There's some stuff on there. I have my buddy Carson. He was on our podcast. He's
Awesome.
got some of his training plans on there with his buddy Sam. And their business is Team Syath. They're a really good group of people out of Michigan. But other than that, I'm going to start trying to bring in other, folks and veteran-owned companies and their products to have listed. So I'm trying to get the largest array of goods, of consumer goods. Whether like I found this badass veteran candle company that like I can't wait to approach. They got
Okay.
like
A
they have
veteran
like,
candle company.
dude, like I came across their thing on Instagram and like
If
they
they
just
don't
have
have a
like,
candle that smells like the gun smoke at 5 in the fucking morning of your stinky camis, Noki, I want to hear it.
the names of their candles are like disgruntled boot sock or like something
Jesus
like
Christ.
it's something, but they're really good. They're really catchy. And you're like, dude, I totally want to buy that. Like, so I don't know, just random things. Like, cause I've done so much research on what companies are out there and what
Right.
products are out there. And maybe not everyone wants to jump on right away. That's okay. You know what I mean? We'll get them on eventually. I did have to switch up a few things in the setup as far as I wanted it to be completely free to the business, but it's just not a model that was going to work. So I ended up
Right.
having to do a membership thing, and
I'm sure you disclose a full thing when you're ready. That'll be an
yeah,
awesome video and stuff like that.
there
But
was a lot that went into it. You know, like I'm sure you've had a vision. If you've ever had a vision, you know where you want to be, or you know where you want to go, and sometimes your path there isn't necessarily that the way a bird flies, right? Like
6 years and counting, buddy.
yeah,
Yeah.
you're just ding 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 ding. You're sidestepping here, juke here,
Yeah.
Um, and so that's the process, and I'm sure you have to deal with that in the real estate world, right? Like you're trying to put together a deal, and it's like, oh, I don't want this. Oh, but you have to have that. Oh, but the inspection says this, right? Like, and you're just trying
No,
to
actually, I do
sidestep.
all perfect deals. Talk
Oh,
to
you
me
do.
for all perfect deals. Dream homes. Actually, but no, I understand it completely. Yes, yes. Where people come in, they have the idea, but then the pre-approval comes in. The pre-approval doesn't equal the idea. You know what I mean? Especially in San Diego.
That's epic.
So
I
yeah,
like.
something's got to change. Let's figure that out so we can actually get you what you love at the price point that you're at.
Yeah, especially in the market nowadays, right? Like, because everything's super expensive.
Oh yeah, I was having
So,
some. Go ahead.
oh no, I mean, there's
I'll
just
say it
certain
later.
people that probably pre-pandemic might have been able to afford a certain home, but now that we're in pandemic and prices have risen, I'm sure people.
I would go against that.
Oh, well, touche. Go ahead and explain yourself.
Oh, I guess. All right. So what I see is obviously super high unemployment rates right now. But when I look at the employment rates, when you do like, I'm not going to get too into the numbers, but a lot of it is unfortunately people who I guess wouldn't have been searching for a home to begin with. So a lot of the jobs that were lost this time are, were like, bus servers and waiters, bartenders, things like that. So obviously they're the people that need help right now. But if you had a salary job, obviously people still got cut off in salary jobs, but a lot of those are still salvaged because they figured that out and they kept things going. So when I say that, employment doesn't really, I guess that didn't affect it. It's just that on the large scale, for the most part of it, the those that were unemployed were still working to get to a home. Where the few that were became unemployed, those are the people that still kind of qualify for a home. It's an interesting way to see how things been playing out this whole year.
Well, that's why I've been bolstering my entire bank account with crypto. Just like I'm balls deep in crypto right now. You too?
So I don't even know how much I want to disclose.
You don't have to give financial numbers here. Like you can just.
No, the thing is, like, I want to be vulnerable, but I don't want to just, I don't want to vulnerable. I don't want to brag, whatever. Like, I want to find that fine line. But basically, like, I just finished doing my refinance, and I'm gonna have more money than I've ever had before, and that was based off the initial investment of a home, and I bought it back in 2012, and everything was still tanking, and again, to my mentor, I don't think you know Stats on Jerez. He's always chilling at the EKMS locker. But anyways, like yeah, he was also from New York, and he always told me, "Yo, dude, you gotta get the hell, like basically like kicked me in my head to get the freaking house, and I fucking got the house." And to this day, I remember my dumb ass was like 205,000. Fucking pissed. This is bullshit. You know what I mean? And then now I was like, holy shit, it's kind of up there now. But I'm taking that. I'm gonna be able to purchase another a home, and it just I don't know. To me, it just speaks to like the long term investments of real estate. I'm gonna take a piece of that. I'm gonna make it into short term investments of Bitcoin right now. So I've been listening to a lot of Bitcoin people. I've been paying attention more now. You know, outside of the Bitcoin, the only one I kind of have been aware of is XRP, just to show how much I don't know about fucking Bitcoins.
Yeah.
But I've heard a lot of good things about XRP and paying attention to that one. So I'm thinking about pulling the trigger on that as soon as this shit hits the account.
So are you planning on buying Bitcoin currently? Like if you, let's say tomorrow funds transfer through and you're like, hey, I'm going to invest. I mean, because personally, I don't know that I would invest in Bitcoin right at the moment.
So here's the thing, right? And you might be right. But what I've been noticing is Bitcoin is just really fast real estate. So I'll break it down like this. This is just my perspective. Bitcoin once upon a time was what? A penny, right? Those guys, they became billionaires. We watched it. We went, oh my God, if that shit happened again, I would jump in. I swear. Da, 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 da. Then what happened? Bitcoin fell. This shit fell to I think it was like 2,000.
3,000, yeah.
3,000.
Or it might even be less, but this year it was as low as 3,000.
You remember that? And even I remember my feeling. The shit fell. This is
It's
where it
fake.
should
It's
be.
not real. It's
Not
bullshit.
real. Right? Did you invest when it was down? Right? And then what happened? Look at today. What, 35, 37,000? Some people are projecting 140,000 by some year crazy thing. So what I'm saying is no matter what happens, you'll always have an objection to it. So it's not you kind of want to have that objection. Obviously, you don't just throw it into anything, but I think it's important to be aware of that objection. So that way you can like think, wait, am I really just like, am I scared to do it? Or is this a real thing that I should be thinking about?
But I also think that has to be married up with strategic input, right? Like, right.
My strategic input is everybody that knows fucking Bitcoin. I'm not gonna lie. Hey, listen, that guy knows shit and he's got money. I'm gonna listen to the guy that knows shit and got money. And
well, I mean, like, because it's sitting at, I think it was just sitting at 41 or 42.
It broke 40.
Yeah, but from conservative, realistic expectations, in relation to the last few times that it's taken off, right? Like it's actually followed the exact structure of I think it's the 17 blow off. It's basically the exact, like literally, like as it's sort of went parabolic, it's literally like if you overlay it, it's almost the exact same structure, right? And so what they've done is they've basically overlaid it, right? And they're like, okay, realistically, given the last breakout, we're looking at anywhere between realistically $50,000 to $70,000, right?
Jesus.
Before it drops.
Fuck.
But that's a big window, right?
Man, I wish I got that 2,000.
And we're getting really close to that window.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, like, I guess, not that I'm some sort of guru, but it would make sense that, like, instead of FOMO buying, I would almost just wait until this runs over if you're going to invest in Bitcoin heavily, because it's going to come up and notoriously, if you look back at the data, I mean, it's dropped 50% in a day, 30% a day, 40% a day when it's gone back to being bearish. You know what I'm saying? So, like, there's still a great opportunity to get into Bitcoin. It's not an ideal time, I don't think, right now. Because if you buy in, let's say you buy in a coin, right, for 40 grand.
Right.
If you go to 100 and, you know, if you go to 80 grand, right, you've only doubled your money. It's not, I know it sounds really like crass to some degree, but like in crypto, like you can triple, quadruple, 10x, you know what I'm saying, your money really easy. I say that lightly, but like,
yeah, right.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's like if you buy some of these altcoins, XRP, XLM,
like stocks and penny stocks. It's all about percentages. You know what I mean?
Right. But based on utility, right? Because like XRP has great utility, right? Even though they're facing some stuff from the SEC right now, and that basically just cut, you know, the entire value in half at this point.
Which I'm happy about. That is,
that's a potential buying opportunity. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I think it's gonna, based on a lot of things that I'm watching and reading, like it sounds like there's a good chance for it to come back once they settle the lawsuit, you know, hopefully it's not deemed a security, right? If it's not, then as soon as that thing comes back online, at some point it's going to shoot up again, right? And so if you're collecting bags right now and you're just stacking, it's a risk. Don't get me wrong.
It's a risk. I really think that investing in that one, you're going to lose everything or you're going to gain everything. And that's
So you got to risk.
exciting.
Yeah, you got to risk how much you're willing to lose.
Yep.
It
legit, there's no way. Like if they lose a case, you're losing all your money. If they win the case or if they settle the case at a good amount, sky's the limit.
So before the SEC dropped its ruling, a good conservative projection, again, the structure mirrored the same structures last time.
Mm-hmm.
They're saying $10 to $13, right? We're talking, yeah.
And like
that was what it was projected to do this alt season.
A quarter. Like that's right. 20. It's usually around 25 cents or 16 cents, sometimes 30 cents. I think at the highest I've seen it was 60 cents.
Yeah.
He said 13.
That's huge, bro. Yeah.
Crazy.
So like even if you just if you had, if it went to $10, you know what I'm saying? Like even at its current price, I mean, you're talking like you can make buku money.
Yeah.
Buku money, XLM trades side by side with XRP typically,
right.
Although XRP sort of that structure is completely broken.
Mm-hmm.
But XLM's another one, it's got a lot of potential. I'm heavily invested in XLM too.
Really?
Yeah. And some of these other weird ones like District OX.
Wu-Tang had their own coin for a bit. I don't think it ever came out. Yeah, but I was on the wait list. I never got a fucking email. I was kind of mad about that. Never got the email. I wanted my Wu coin. Who the fuck would have won a Wu coin? Oh, I was so mad about that, man.
I would have hopped on a Wu coin.
Fuck yeah, man. He just gives a Wu and hit him with the Wu. I went to the corner store to get the beer. They have an ATM machine that accepts Bitcoin. Shit, I've never seen that shit in my life ever. And really? There it was. Like, what the fuck? It's a fucking ATM for the Bitcoin. Ain't there some shit? Have you seen that yet?
No.
Make sure to subscribe to the Veteran Entrepreneur Podcast.